Yeah, actually I see it. Like Stream Manager 10 minutes of stream. That sucks. Ooh, upgrades. Okay, I can have a more. Is it medicine or vodka? Perhaps this item to increase medicine carrying capacity. Oh, the question is, does it matter? With crafting resources, pay real money? No way. Ireland, okay. And for Ireland, is in Scotland also? Like, you know, it's mutual. I can craft it. Like, I have resources. 50 pounds, 100 iron, and here I can craft it. Why? The answer. Pretty much. Damn. Maybe someday you're gonna invite England. I am interested, but also I'm not, like, you know, tracking it. Yeah, upgrade this. Why not? Because, like, you know, I'm always interested after. Like, I'm not the guy who's like to watch it. I interesting, but kinda always miss it, or something like that. But yeah. Is there any news that you want to share this with me? Medium knife pouch crafted. Yeah, crafted also 100. We have a lot of money and we have a lot of leather. Medicine, yes, because we died actually 2 times because of not enough medicine. Now I remember we wanted 10,000. Internal gigabyte per second latency from 25 milliseconds. That's like, I don't know. I'm gonna be here like, what was his name? The guy who didn't believe Jesus. No, there was like, I won't believe it till I say it. I do hope so. I do hope so. I want to believe it. Like, how is this possible? Like, I mean, gigabit, okay, I understand gigabit, like, okay, that's no problem, but latency. I'm gonna miss that guy. I'm gonna meet the Cletus Train. Even in the midst of mayhem, Cletus Train always makes time to play games. Partial to tricks, Train uses smoke to blind his enemies and hit them where it really hurts. The most important thing, he sings. They forget to mention it. So yeah, latency would be like damn good. I can't believe it will work. No, I don't wanna become famous. I mean, I wanna, but not like with the things like that. wanna. Whoa. How are those? This is like OP. Crafting. Rope launcher. Yes, we know it. Encyclopedia. People. Allies. Alexander Graham Bell. Let's read about this. 3rd March 1847. From the day he was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh yeah. Sound and communication were very important in Alexander Graham Bell's life. His father was a highly respected speech therapist and elocutionist. And at the age of 12, young Alex's mother lost her hearing. His father developed a phonetic alphabet and teaching the deaf to speak while Alex himself Alex himself learned to communicate with his mother by speaking into the side of her head so she could feel the vibration of his voice. Rebecca does something similar whenever I try to block her out. The other thing that defined Alex's life was his natural inventiveness. By the time he was a teenager, Bell had already created a system for the husking wheat. What? Electionist. Okay. We have a laryngolog in Poland. Laryngolog. By the time he was a teenager, Bell has already created a system for the husking wheat. What's that? But then I suppose we all do crazy things when we're teenager. Plus, with the help of his brother Melville and taking the skins of grain. Okay. The husking. Okay, now it makes sense. Plus, with the help of his brothers Melville and Edward, he developed an automation that could speak by blowing air from a blows whilst manipulating the machine's lips. The Bell boys were able to get the machine to articulate crude words like mama. And you? Thought, ventricle. And you thought ventriloquism? What the fuck? And you thought ventriloquism was tough to sit through. I need to sign to English lessons again. Bell's genius was such that he was hired as a pupil teacher of elocution and music at the Westonhouse in Scotland. His family moved to London around the same time. Alec would join them in 1867 after Edward died of tuberculosis. While in London, Alec attended the University of London and worked for his father, providing speech therapy and teaching his father phonetic alphabet to the deaf. And it seems crafting nifty gadgets for a pair of assassins. Okay. Ventriloquism is a pretending at all. Why such hard word to speak? That's the question. History has managed to document that creepy bloody automaton, but there is not a word about his interaction with Jacob and Abby Fry as it should be. Anyway, Alec and his parents moved to Canada in 1870. After Malvar, like his brother, succumbed to tuberculosis. Yes, I know it. Alec himself was showing symptoms of the disease, but thankfully for all of humankind, he recovered and would go on to invent, among other things, the dumb version of the smartphone. The dumb version. What the hell? What age are people playing this game? Bell passed away 2nd of August 1922 at the age of 75. Actually, that's pretty old, like for that time, I guess. When his body was interred 2 days later, phone traffic was shut down for a minute in his honor. People were crying over Bell's death, shutting down the phone lines would do the trick. Is it like the famous person born in? Sorry for being ignorant, but is it the famous person in Edinburgh? Born in Edinburgh. Westminster's. Charles Barry was hired in 1844 to rebuild the Houses of Parliament, which had burned down 10 years ago. It was decided the new building should include a clock tower, and Barry enlisted the reputed clockmaster William to design the clock itself. Yes, Barry. Yeah, I was born in Toruń, in Poland, and we have like Copernic, the guy who moved the Earth and stopped the sun. And there's like always fight because like some people are saying, because where did he move? To France? Germany. I remember. But he was born in Toruń, yeah. Big Ben is the name commonly used for the entire clock tower, but it was originally the nickname for the largest bell in the tower. The clock tower is now officially known as the Elizabeth Tower after Queen Elizabeth II, because reasons. The origin of the nickname Big Ben has been boiled down to 2 theories. The first is that it derives from Sir Benjamin Hall, the Public Commissioner of Works. The other theory is that the nickname comes from the world of boxing. Heavyweight fighters of the time were sometimes called Big Bens, after the heavyweight boxing champion Benjamin Count. Each clock dial is engraved at its base. The engraving reads in Latin, "O Lord, keep safe our Queen Victoria I." Houses of Parliament. Also known as the Palace of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament were built and remodeled around one of the first royal residences. The Great Hall inside Parliament is the last remnant of the palace built by William II at the end of the 11th century. The old palace remained a royal residence for just over 400 years until Henry VIII moved to Whitehall Palace in 1530. The old palace became the permanent location for the country's 2 Houses of Parliament, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. To call Henry VIII's relationship with the Catholic Church turbulent would be an understatement. It's like saying that in the 1940s, Britain's relationship with Germany was a little fraught. This conflict with the church put the king's lawyers hard at work, and they situated themselves at the old palace, making the building the home of the courts of law as well. 2 of the most notable people to be tried in the Palace of Westminster are Guy Fawkes, the Catholic extremist who attempted to blow up the House of Parliament in 1606, and King Charles I, who was tried and executed for treason at the height of the English Civil War. Prime Minister Spencer Perceval was assassinated in the lobby of the House of Commons in 1812. Illustrations. 49. French communists in London. Okay. Damn, it's pretty late. Whatever. Something to drink, so yeah. Let's do some last things we can. Simon. That's my name, but in English. Okay, we're gonna go and reach that thing first. There were so many readings that I don't remember that I killed those guys. Just forget about it. Or almost I forget about it. Like that. Hello,
Mr.
Mr. Telephone.
I was just showing Jacob the first message was received via the mended lines. Oh, you can keep the rope launcher, by the way. We've managed to procure another one for your brother. Excellent work. Thank you again.
You're very welcome, Mr. Bell.
We can now defend the principle of impartial news and free speech.
Free is fair, but free and brief is far better.
Ha ha! Ah, Fry, such caustic wit.
And on that note, we must depart.
Oh, good fortune to you both. Call on me, anytime.
Okay. Insufficient wind blow. As damn. All things messed up. All of them.
Now that we've finished with that distraction,
Who is that? Oh, you mean you don't know?
Beautiful train you got here. Miss McBean was just telling me all about her. Name's Ned.
How do you do?
I won't take up more of your time. If you want to learn a thing or two about the finest transit systems in the world, you can find me at this address.
let us return to locating the Piece of Eden.
We need to reclaim London from Starrick. Who are my targets?
It's not time for that yet.
I didn't come to London to hunt curios.
First understand the dance, only then become the dancer.
Oh, so you're taking over where Father left off.
Someone has to.
Evie, finding the precursor artifact will give us an insight into what the Templars intend. Jacob, I have information about Starrick's associates that should be of use to you. Here.
Conquer London, nice. Use the assassination wall in the train hideout to track the next Templar target. Expand territory by completing conquest activities. Complete associate activities to earn money, crafting resources, and wow, unique, yeah, and unique rewards. Sequence 4. You're already there. The sequence 4 and then sequence 8. Nothing between. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, hello, give me money. Where do I buy? Up games. Bye. Bookmaker. Hire professional bookies and make money at the races. Doing so will increase the train hider income by £500 every 30 minutes. £500 every 50 minutes. Oh, this is by £1,000. Fits. New outfit. Decrease detection speed. No, for him it's not good. Any new skill? 8 skills. Whoa. Buy this one. Gunslinger. I think we need this one, because I'm afraid we're gonna meet pretty soon in chests that are not gonna be able to be opened with this one. Skill more for yeah. That's cool. So next, when you bring an enemy to near death, your next attack is against a different opponent automatically puts them in near death state. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm thinking about how this mutilate successful attacks brings enemies to near death more rapidly, or counter boost. Counter attacks have a larger window of opportunity to increase damage. Let's go with mutilate. He's a fighter. He's a very good fighter. Nice. Net wine. Why nerd? Although born in New York City, that always dreamed of traveling to London, he must have been quite a fan of rain. Not only was a nice clever but attractive to his inquisitive, but the British might mean what? But the British Empire had the potential for extraordinary criminal activity. Dancing? What's dancing? What are you talking about, dancing? I've read something wrongly? There's no dancing here. I'm confused. Net Weinert? Yes, that's the city I'm dancing. Dancing, yes. Yeah. But the German, yeah, that's a German name. That's not my family town. I'm just living here. Yeah, dancing. What about it? Came out of nowhere, that's why I was like, what? That Wynard, Ni Henrietta Netta Mary Wynne, was raised in American polite society and was expected to play the part but longed for a life outside social constraints. Always clever, he learned how to sneak away from home while no one was watching. By day, he would play the part of the respectable little girl, but by night he was a boy and, disguised, found a home on the streets among petty thieves and dark influences. No one ever made the connection between the two personae. Edison began making a name for himself as a notorious jewel thief. Once he had amassed sufficient funds, he left home for good and utterly abandoned his old Nita without identity. Which seems a shame because she sounded fun. Okay, it's time for sleep, like I can't read. Even worse than normal. They quickly excelled in the criminal underworld but struck it big only after proving his talents and being recruited by America's most famous thief, Adam Worth. Seeing Ned's obvious talent for scheming and schmoozing, Wolf gave him a very important mission that just so happened to mirror the young man's dream: set up a crime syndicate in the heart of the British Empire. It wasn't hard for Ned to make friends when he did reach London. It wasn't long before his plan was underway. He made his base of operations in Southwark, specializing in theft, and assembled a group of hard-working, loyal thieves to aid his cause. There was only one obstacle remaining on his path to achieving true success: the Blighters. Who could find Ned again? However, when in 1868 Ned stumbled upon the most bizarre train he had ever laid eyes on, the owner of the train, twin assassin Jacob and Evie Fry, agreed to take out the Blighters' presence. provided not let them keep whatever booty they discovered on their journey across London. I'm reading about Scottish people going to there since the 1400s. What people? It wasn't in Poland at the time. It wasn't in Poland at the time, so I don't know what you're... I think I don't know that part of history. St. Pancras Station, named after the patron saint of children, St. Pancras Station was built by the Midway Railway Company on a distributable slum, not to be confused with those reputable slums you hear so much about. Landlords were happy to sell their property for a pretty penny, and inhabitants of the neighborhood were driven out of their homes without compensation. Building the station required moving a church, excavating its graveyard, distributing money people from their earnest rest. Lovely. The Midland Railway Company held a contest in 1865 as St. Pancras was being built to find the best design for a hotel the company intended to attach to the station. The winner was the architect Sir George Gilbert Scott, despite, or perhaps because, his submission was greater and more expensive than the sub-specification the MRC called for. The first train to leave St. Pancras in 1868 was bound for Manchester, and did not stop until it reached Leicester, 87 miles away. At the time, it was the longest continual train run in the world. I bet it never stopped there again. Why?
Expecting a fistfight, dear brother?